Unprepared. And
Now I'm
we're
tilted.
live.
Okay, see. Hey, Earth 2. We are dealing with some technical difficulties, mostly on my end. It's been a season worth of a lot of difficulties, but we've made it work. We've made it work, and we are here on the finale for Cloak and Dagger
Level up,
season 2.
level up, level up, level up, level up.
I was
Sorry.
expecting that. I really was, so I'm not even surprised. But yeah, Cloak and Dagger season 2. Wait, the title of the episode is actually Level Up.
It's level
Level
up.
up. Yes.
So,
Do you think I just go around dancing to Sierra for no reason? No,
hey
sir.
man,
No.
that was my high school, so maybe. I don't know.
Okay.
I don't know what do the kids dance to nowadays. Anyways, you can answer that in the comment section. Let's get in it. Let's get in it. Let's get into it. Earth 2, ladies and gentlemen. As always, I'm here with Keem and Brianna. And it's been a wonderful season. It's been a very, very kind of like emotional, topsy-turvy. I want to use that word topsy-turvy because of our pre-production, how do I say it? Our pre-production kind of like chat that we were having. So yeah,
Mhm.
topsy-turvy is the word I'm going to use, because British. Um, it's been a whirlwind of a season. It's been a very interesting turn of events for our heroes, Ty and Tandy, with some of the family drama, and I'm so happy he's not with Baby anymore. Anyways, before we get into it, we did say there were some things from the last episode we are going to talk about or correct ourselves on. One of them being who did who did Evita have to get married to?
Uh,
Wait,
I'm still confused on it,
right.
but Jess King, shout out to
Just
Jess.
I thought like just
Shout out
in
to
a
Jess
king.
King.
Yeah, she said that Evita had to marry Baron Samdi.
Yes.
So we're gonna
And
go with that.
so yeah, we're gonna go with that. Probably have to rewatch again. Probably
I mean,
rewatch the
he
whole
got the
season.
bouquet
Yeah, because at the end of it, that was where the bouquet went to, right?
to
Yeah,
him.
Okay.
So
yeah, and he was like the missus likes a clean house. So
Ooh.
so
And then
I'm assuming it's
the
his
other
missus.
thing was from I believe that same episode. What were the stickers that were on the wall in the record store?
Did they all say parasite?
on that post, most of them said parasite. There was like one weird looking creature on the bottom one, and I'm not sure what that was or if that was just supposed to be a picture of
A
a
parasite.
parasite.
So yeah, so thank
um,
you again, Jess King,
wait,
for the answers to
yes.
that one. Yeah.
I had notes because I was gonna forget.
Oh, let's go.
So the first after I rewatched it for a fourth time, what I
One,
noticed
two,
was that
three, four.
I
Level up.
noticed that after during while Evita was doing her
Wedding.
wedding
Sacrifice.
vows, yeah, sacrificing and doing her
Fucking Ty.
wedding vows to Baron Samdi, Tandy and Ty, it was almost like they were exchanging vows too, because basically she was like, if I have to live in a world that you're not in, then I'm gonna stay here with you.
Hmm.
And he said something along the same lines, like, so, we're in this together forever. And she's like, yeah. So they kind of pledged themselves to each other.
Yes. Yes, they
Uh,
did. They did.
and
Anything else?
then let's see. Oh, also, I noticed on the fourth view that when Ty and Tandy were going through Leah's mind to figure out exactly what happened to her and how she became the person she was, that was also like them going through a video game, because there were like all these secret doors and stuff that they were going through to get to the next level
Leveling
to
up.
see. Yes.
Segment.
So I don't know if that was on purpose. Maybe I was just looking way too into it on a fourth view, but
I don't know. I feel like they do a lot of those things.
Right.
So
That
I
you
think it'd
kind
be
of
on
have to
purpose.
catch. Yeah.
yeah.
So, episode 10. Episode 10, level up. I can see you.
We do that dance in my Zumba class all the time, and our instructor is like, "It's not
Is
out,
it?
it's up and in." So like I'm sitting here like, "I'm gonna do you proud, Kaza." Okay.
Shout out Zumba instructor.
Yes.
Isn't somebody from one of our other shows in your same Zumba class? Not really gonna call anybody out, but
I feel like said person would be damn proud for everybody to know because
you know what?
he
Let's
is in there working his ass off, and I'm so proud of him. I thought he was gonna die last time, and I kept looking like, "You good? You okay?"
no, because I'm over here getting ready to record one of our shows that we do, and I'm like, "Where you at?" He's like, "Yeah, I'm probably not gonna make it tonight." I'm like, "Okay, well," and then one day he was like, "Yeah, I went to Zoom." I was like, "Oh, okay, that's cute."
I'm
Brianna's
so
looking like, "Who are you
proud.
talking about?"
I stole your partner, Mo.
I know. I'm all like ready to record the podcast, and he's nowhere to be found. But it's all about health as wealth. Yeah, get your
Yeah.
health on. Okay, so level up. Let's actually get into Cloak and Dagger now.
Yes.
Level up. The synopsis. Let me read that for you guys. Tyrone and Tandy head to the lower dimension to stop the evil force threatening New Orleans, and they confront the personal. They confront the personal issues that have been holding them back. Mayhem and Evita do their best to hold off the dangers in the real dimension, which I thought was kind of dope. That how we got while they're handling business over in the lower dimension. So now, I guess we call the shadow dimension the lower dimension now. Is that what it is, or is there a lower dimension and then there's still like the cloak dimension? Or
Maybe
is
I don't know. It just feels like they kind of,
It's definitely connected.
yeah, they're connected. But maybe entering into the shadow dimension takes you to a lower dimension because at the end,
That's true.
everything seemed like it was like imploding on itself.
right, which kind of we've seen before when the first time we entered that dimension when they had to get out and it felt like everything was kind of like blowing up in the church and all that good stuff. But yeah, so we're here. Um, and what I felt like I actually really enjoyed the opening of it because it opens right at the end. Again, they work together and it's
It
beautiful.
opens with the bank robbery.
Yeah,
Oh yeah, it opens with the bank robbery. Wait, does it open with the bank robbery or do
it
we?
does.
Okay,
It
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 does.
does.
opens
It
with
I
the
does.
wrote
bank
it down.
robbery and the Take on Me cover, and it's just a girl.
I
And then she hears
know.
the trumpet,
Okay,
And
and then
boom, she's gone.
she's gone. But can I
also
And
the
then,
say,
top.
go ahead.
Oh, what?
I love that because Take on Me is my absolute favorite
It's
song of
such a
all
dope
time.
song.
And usually I'm mad at people's remakes of it, but I should have looked up who did that cover, but I
It's
wasn't
such a
mad at it. And yeah,
it's such a dope outro. I've never seen it done as an intro. It's usually like an outro to like all these. Because Take on Me for me,
It was both.
it
what
was
I
both.
remember, what I remember for me personally, Take on Me is like it's the outro for like every teen movie. For some reason in my head, every time I see a teen movie from like the 90s, you're you're exiting with Take on Me, and it's like, okay, well, it may have been one. I'm not
I
sure,
have not seen one of those movies, Mo. I
but
know that
but
it was the quintessential soundtrack to my life in the 80s growing up and
it's
the
such a
90s
it's
and the
such a
2000s.
yeah, okay, so hearing it for me personally as an intro is like, well, it's kind of weird, but it works very well for that scene because again, it's the bank robber, it's the getaway driver, as a matter of fact,
Hmm.
and it looked like she was
It's also
having
sad.
doubts.
It was
Yes.
a sad remake.
Yeah, it wasn't like the upbeat.
Take on me.
But it appears she was having doubts, and as soon as she blasted the song, and then she started hearing the trumpet, and she turned it down, and boom, she's gone. And then the cop, and so everyone kind of escapes out of the bank. And I did not think they were gonna go that far with it, but
I didn't think they were gonna show like that shooting
Look,
guy.
the
Like I
blood
thought that was like
splatter,
just
like the brain matter, just like
I'm
that
like,
was.
what? Cloak and
like
Dagger? What?
if you're this is a Disney show. Every time I see shit like that, I'm like, this is a Disney show.
And
ABC
They just
Family.
yeah, like I
like
know
they
they
didn't need to
changed
put
it to
that in
freeform,
there.
but they were just like, this is the last episode of the season.
Let's go
Fuck
all
it.
in.
Yeah,
I
y'all about to
And
see
mean,
like
everything.
I didn't feel like it was completely out of place in the show. It's just when I think about the fact that it's a Disney
it's a
show.
ABC Family show, so it's kind of like, wow, why are you here? You should be on Netflix or something
But they
every time.
rebranded themselves to freeform, and so
Mhm.
this is probably part of the reason.
Edgy.
Because also, what is it? Grownish is up there,
Yeah.
And
Yeah.
while I
Nice.
don't watch the show, I've seen some clips that are kind of adult.
Kind
So
of
I'm like,
grownish.
very, very, no, just grown, just plain out grown.
Oh, no ish. Okay, good.
Like, oh,
So,
y'all are
Also,
talking about fucking. Okay, like they said that over the last episodes. I was like,
yeah,
the
bank
cover was
robber.
by Wendy Wong, by the way. Wendy Wang and Inga
Ooh,
Roberts.
look at that.
good
Live
to
on the
know.
show. We're dropping facts. We're not gonna wait till the end of the show. We're not gonna wait for the fans to say something. We're dropping the facts right on the show.
Well,
Anyway,
it's from the Cloak and Dagger Instagram. Perfect.
so she drops. The bank robber kills the guard and gets in the car, and it's like, oh, where's our driver? We're not going anywhere. And then the cop car smashes into them, and it's empty.
The cop
And
car smashes into like a tree or a barrier or something. He doesn't even hit their car. It just kind of like
it just
rolls
smashes,
and
and it's
stops.
like,
Yeah.
whoa. And then you see the driver and the cop in the, what's the name of his
It's like the
lounge called
motel
again?
or whatever.
I just call it the jazz. I wrote down jazz club because I don't
Okay,
know
that
the name
works.
of the.
Because I would have figured it would be the name of the spot that he tried to do the blue note at. So
He didn't try. He did it.
oh yeah, he did, and brainwaves and all that good stuff. But yeah, so we're here, and now we get back to Tandy and Ty, who are still looking like, yo, what the hell is going on? Where's everybody at? And then for some reason, did they figure it out? Because I'm not sure. I watched it again. I didn't see them figure it out, but I just saw
Ty figured it
someone
out.
said,
Ty
okay,
said that because
Whatever he was planning to do, he did it.
he did
he
it.
did it, yeah.
And then
Or he
Tandy
was
was like, "Did
successful.
you hear that trumpet?" And he's like, "Yeah." And she's like, "That's Andre, because that's all he did in that hotel was play that damn horn all day."
There we go. And then someone, I think, oh yeah, Tandy suggests, hey, let's go to Evita.
She's like the only one who could figure it out because that was some Loa shit.
Yes.
And Tyrone's all worried.
Beautiful. So beautiful.
Yes.
Ty's
So-
all like, I don't know if she wants to see me. I'm like the last person she wants to see right now. I don't care if she's the last person you want to see.
Okay, hold on. Somebody is smoking outside my window, and it is killing me.
Wait, weed or
Discuss
cigarettes?
a bunch of cigarettes.
Oh.
And so she's like, I don't care if she's the last person. If you're the last person,
It's not
she
about
wants to
you.
see. It's not about you. We gotta save people. And Ty's
I
like,
loved that because usually they're like, "Oh, I can't go over there." Like, go.
Oh,
She's
yeah,
like,
Who the fuck
"Look,
you gonna go to?
like, don't nobody care that you and your ex aren't
Exactly.
getting along. You better.
Like-
We got to do this to save people."
Like we're trying to save the whole New Orleans right now, and maybe in fact what could in turn be the whole world if we keep letting this guy do what he does. So I don't care if your girl don't want to talk to you right now. We have stuff to take care of.
And then Evita's just listening.
And she's like, I can hear y'all talk about
Like,
it.
this door is
It's
thin as
clear.
hell, right? I can hear everything.
And then we get a kind of very, very cool scene of, with the nail gun and a very suggestive position, which, hey, I wouldn't mind. But hey, look.
But you skipped a whole.
Oh, I just wanted to talk about the suggestive position. That's it. Like,
we can get back to it. But so after Tandy says, when they're on the rooftop and they're looking at dead Andre or Andre's mortal shell laying there, and Tandy suggests, we need to go see somebody who knows about this stuff. It flashes over to Bridget. Yeah, Bridget and Mina.
Mm-hmm.
And Mina is about to give Bridget is that a CAT scan or an MRI? One of those.
It's a type of scan.
Brain.
I'll call it.
It's a brain scan.
It's a brain scan.
It's a brain scan.
A brain scan, just to see what's happening, because at this point it kind of seems like Bridget and O'Reilly are like they're fusing back together again.
Mm-hmm.
And so, she's just like, I'm kind of not sure who I'm supposed to be or what else. Like I fuse my mouses. She said my mouses. I fuse my mouses back together. I mean, it's like, it's mice, by the way. But she was like, well, let's just take a look. And so then, as she's looking, she's like, oh yeah, okay, I can see empathy here. I can see rage, which is still the dominant thing in your head. And so as they're talking,
they talk about the terror.
Yeah. Bridget's like, how are you holding yourself all together through all of this? And why are you still doing this research? And Mina's like, well, I got touched by that terror and it made me do some crazy things. And I just feel compelled to find out what happened. So those are like the sorrows and the troubles that like are plaguing her mind. And then Bridget asked, like, can you see love in my brain scan? And Mina's like, I haven't figured out how to track that yet, but, and then you hear a whole bunch of clanging and Mina is gone because she's been sucked into the jazz club as well.
Yeah. So, you know what? I wouldn't mind seeing a show with both of them. Like,
you mean Mina and Mayhem, or wait, did he? Oh, okay.
I'm right here.
Okay.
I wouldn't mind seeing a Mina and Mayhem show though. I wouldn't like. It looks like they could have some sort of.
I want more Mina.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. Like, so because well, I'll get to why I said that later when we get to the end of the episode. But yeah, so we get to, so now we're back in the church and Evita is naming,
wait. She does a reading before the church. You horny pervert.
Okay.
Stop skipping. She does the reading with the cards.
Okay.
And
yeah,
she
like, does do the
we gotta look at like, blah blah blah.
This
blah,
is
blah, blah.
Despair. All I see is despair in this future. She's turning up the cards. I'm like, wait, these are just regular playing cards. I play Taunt real quick.
But she knows how to read them.
I'm like, all I see is a Joker and a King. Like, I don't see nothing else. But she.
Yeah, because Andre's a Joker who's trying to be a king.
Oh.
Duh.
Oh.
No, I have no idea. I didn't see any of that. I saw numbers.
But you know what? That makes sense. But yeah, it was just number cards. But damn, Bree, you could have just gone with that, and both of us would have been like.
I was just like, whoa.
Oh my god. Yeah, she does the reading first.
So can I get there now?
Did we cover the full thing on the reading where she was basically like the
all I see is despair in his future, or
everything he touches.
Future, everything he touches brings despair, and in the past, Loa were very
reckless or something with the mortals they let in.
But no, they said they were very discriminate about the mortals that they let become Loas. But he has become a Loa without any of the responsibility.
So.
Oh, okay, that's what they said. Something.
Yeah, like Loa.
He's a joke.
And Loa still had, they were still responsible when, as a god, they were still responsible. But when this guy comes in, he's just indiscriminate, no responsibility. Are we done now? Can we get to the church?
Okay, get to
Thank
the church.
you.
Never seen someone so excited to see a woman straddle another man, but okay.
Wait, hold on, time out. Don't put it like that. Don't.
That's what you're saying, though.
But you know what?
What you're excited about?
So yeah, she nail guns his hoodie, and he's like, and Tandy says he's never done this without being scared, and Kai's like, hold on, with everything happening, I've never been more scared in my life, and poof,
the door
when
opened.
Evita is on him, they also talk about how like Ty is kind of meek.
He's humble. You're humble, and usually that's cute, but
right now we need an emperor.
Yeah.
Yeah. Not right now. And so before they go in, she lights the candle and she says, hey, this candle right here, son. So I gotta say something that I thought about, right? Has anyone ever seen a voodoo candle been so thin and so like not really in my, because I'm like, yo, this candle is gonna go out in like 2.5 seconds. Can you get like an actual candle like one of these?
You just have a candle. Did you prepare for that?
Yes. Get a
That's tiny.
Version. No, but
it's super tiny.
This would take a longer time to burn out than that candle they had on the show. But get a taller, like usually in most voodoo shows they have, the candles are a little thicker. I do, because I have nothing but time. But anyways, I'm kind of a loser.
What are these shows I want to watch? Okay, but
but yeah. So
I was thinking there was some mambo stuff related to it.
It wasn't it though. She said this is the candle it's basically a timer. As long as this candle is lit.
Candle.
Yeah, as long as this candle is lit, you guys can always come back. Once it goes out, you're gonna be stuck in a world of despair. So try not to let the candle go out. I'll do everything I can over here to make sure it doesn't go out.
And if it does go out, then y'all might be trapped forever.
And I'm like, okay, this is way to heighten the drama. because it's not like they don't have to save like a bunch of people. Now they have to save a bunch of people and make sure they don't die in the world they're in.
But also, how would the door even open again since Cloak is inside
in there?
You know what? We've actually never thought about this. Also, seeing him go in Cloak is kind of weird because he never goes in Cloak.
Well, he never has
said
before.
that. She was like, "You've never done this before, have you?"
But then when he
no.
cloaks to go somewhere, right? When he does a thing, technically, I would have thought that they would have defined it like he's walking through dimensions, right? He opens a door, he walks through a dimension, and he opens another door, but he never like stays in long enough to see where he's, walking into.
We've never seen it. As far as we know, he just pops in.
Right.
Like he doesn't go through anything; he just pops.
Okay. Anyway, sorry. Let's get back to it.
While we're halfway segued here, can I just ask, when was Tandy going to put on a new set of clothes? Because she's been wearing that yellow sweater and those jeans for like 3 episodes now.
Wait, no, it's actually been happening throughout the season, and I think it's because like the show, in terms of like timeline, doesn't go very fast. Like in the first 3 episodes, she wears the same thing. They both do. I mean, to be fair, Tyrone wears the same thing every fucking day because
every day
the same thing.
I mean, he's homeless, right?
He's like a cartoon, and he just has a closet full of the same clothes. But like, Tandy, because like I think like the episodes don't go very far, so like in 3 episodes she has the same thing on because like only a day or 2 has passed, and she never went home.
But I just can you borrow one of that man's t-shirts or something?
Right, because it was night.
I think the fastest costume change she had was after she got out of the motel and changed because of that disgusting dress.
So we now walk into Cloak, a lower dimension, and she's like, Papa Legba. It's all, first of all, it's all like Kate, it's all destroyed. The gas station is destroyed. The
chaotic
viewfinder is destroyed. Everything is kind of destroyed. And Tandy starts.
Did you notice that Fuchs's refrigerator was like in the background, busted, like the door was completely busted out? Yeah.
Meaning, okay, so she yells for Papa Legba. He can't be found. He's nowhere to be found, and she starts freaking out, like, "Oh my God, what are we supposed to do now? We're supposed to look through this and go somewhere. I don't know what to do." And she starts freaking out, and then Brianna, you want to take this one? I feel like you should take this one. Go ahead.
Well, she starts freaking out.
Yeah.
And Ty's like, "Bitch, you are Tandy freaking Bowen." What was the next thing she said? Kick-ass ballerina.
Yes.
Harbinger of hope? I have it written down.
Yeah, I think he said harbinger of hope.
There's like 4 things.
It was like 4 things he said. Kick-ass.
Oh, master thief. That's the one I skipped. Kick-ass ballerina, manipulator of light, and harbinger of hope. And I thought that was so fucking adorable because in like the first episode of the season, when Ty was being a butt, she was like, "You are Tyrone frickin' Johnson, baller lady killer, master of space, if not time." And it was just really cute to finally see him comfort her because she needed it.
Right.
Because she went through some shit this season.
So much.
And then he found somehow found
the bowl of pennies that was in the fridge with Fuchs.
He gives it to her, and she's like, "How do I do this? Or how do we do this?" And he's like, "Just trace the thingy and imagine where you want to go." And she's like, "I don't know if it's gonna work." And he's just sitting there like trying to give her all these words of encouragement, and she does it. She takes a deep breath. He turns around. He's like,
"Cool."
Yeah.
You missed part of it when she's making the thing. Well, they do it because she's like, maybe we'd be better off if I was a space and time bitch instead of a hope light bitch.
Yeah. He's like,
and so that's when he gets pennies and like they start making the thing, and she's like making the crosses part, and he's like, "That's not crosses." He's like, "What else would they be?" Those are daggers. And he was talking about how like daggers are great. They're not swords or knives. They're in between, and like the best ones are made of pure hope. And like it's to, because like she has daggers. And it's really cute, and they talk about that.
It is cute. And so they go to the mall. I think their next destination is the mall. They walk into the mall, and everything is kind of like a mess. They get to the record store, And okay, so let's stop right there with the Cloak and Dagger real quick. Yeah, because it's the mall, and then she asked, how do you get? He asked her, how do you get to the record store? But I'm gonna stop right there with Cloak and
Mirrors.
Dagger. Yeah, I was gonna stop right there with
Oh,
Cloak and
okay.
Dagger, and I'm gonna jump. I'm jumping back and forth until we get back to the real world, real quick, or the church, and we see Evita struggling with the candle, or the candle is kind of getting lower.
Are you not telling her Baby anymore because she's married?
Yeah, I don't call her Baby anymore. She's a married woman. That's
She's married woman.
That's disrespectful. And so she's praying and like trying to get whatever forces to like, hey, like chill out.
I would really like to know what she was saying when she was praying. And when I have time,
subtitles.
I'm going to. Well, it was
It's
in
in
French.
Creole or
That's
French.
what I'm saying.
Creole.
I wish we had subtitles.
Well, on Hulu, you can. I don't know if it will.
It doesn't translate.
Well, even if I could just see what it was saying in
then you could
the
Google
Creole
Translate.
French patois, then I could go to Google Translate. I knew I kept hearing nouveau a bunch, which is new, and I think I heard protege. But yeah, but I'm gonna look that up.
Saying like, "Stay lit" over and over.
Please stay
Just
lit.
Google dancing over the candle like it's lit. It's lit.
All right, so we jump back. Let's jump back to the mall, and then they get to the Hall of Mirrors, and she's like, or he asked her, like, what is these versions of ourselves? What are they supposed to mean? And I think she says to him, possibilities of something, of some sort.
Yeah,
and
basically the possibilities of what their future could have been.
Right. Which she's already kind of been through because she did that episode, the whole episode with Andre, and he never got to it. And so because he never gets to it, because he's still gonna eventually get to it later on. He walks down. They walk into the escalator, and then
no. So they walk into the room with the mirrors, and she's like, "Do like I do." So they do, and this you can't like half-ass this mode. This scene gave me all the goosebumps. So don't half-ass
this. So it was so cool. Okay, it was like right out of the comics.
So and they like touch the mirror, and as they walk through, all of a sudden he's got like his full
super
like cloak on, and she's in her ballerina costume. And I don't know what song that was playing, but it got me so hype for this scene. And they're like walking in slow motion. It also reminded me of when me and my friends dressed up one year for Halloween, and we did like a slow motion. I was Raven, and
wait,
I figured you said that because you had a cloak on.
Yes. And you probably didn't see the video, but Chris, we had somebody like stand there and record us walking towards them, and then he switched it over to slow motion and gave us like music in the backdrop. It was so awesome. But anyway, that has nothing to do with this. But
I want to see that
at some point.
It's somewhere in my timeline. But yeah, so they like now they're like going down the escalator in slow motion, and they're like checking each other out, and they are ready for war. They are ready for like whatever.
There was a smirk. I thought there was a smirk. She may have smirked, or he may have smirked. I'm not sure. I think one of them kind of like look.
She's always
dual smirking. Yeah.
Yeah. And so they walk into the jazz club, and Andre, of course, says some evil shit. I forget exactly what he said, but he was like, the thing about crap. Well, it's not as easy, or whatever you think you're about to do. Well, somehow he
when they come in, and he's like
said something. Yeah,
he's like, back in the day, we used to have you never knew who was going to come in on your set,
and you couldn't have a janky ass someone off the street come play with you.
No, but he was saying that now, like y'all. It was almost like the Warren G Nate Dogg song Regulators. And when he's like, you can't have no geek off the street.
Yes.
It was from that fucking line, Mo. But so he would say that, like, so I can't have, like, at this point, I'm a god. I can't have no geeks off the street coming in here thinking they about to like mess up my set.
And so, it was kind of cool. And so Tandy tries her dagger thing again, and she tosses a dagger, and he blocks it, but then it's like a big ball of light. Tyrone puts up the cloak, covers his face, he drops the cloak when the light is gone, and he's like, "Where'd you take? Where is she? Where'd you take her to?" And then he cloaks over to him, and I think he gets to him. That's not when he choked him out. Was that when he kind of choked him out? Because Tyrone and him. Okay,
No.
but he cloaked
both.
over. He
Yeah,
did
they both.
cloak over.
Did he?
And yeah, he did cloak over, and then Andre had him, and then Andre blew the trumpet. That's what happened. He cloaked over, and Andre blew the trumpet and kind of blew the cloak back at him and took him somewhere. So this is where like the episode actually goes. Sorry, go ahead.
It goes dark. I was a little annoyed at this at the beginning because I was like, oh my gosh, are we doing this like face your dark self, face your fear trope again? Like, I really get annoyed now when like there's like evil such and such. Like, we've already got O'Reilly versus Bridget, and now we have to have good Ty versus bad Ty, and Tandy versus her dick father. Like,
but was it?
I guess, but that's kind of like
bad Ty though, because I don't think it was bad Ty.
It wasn't bad Ty. It was perfect Ty. It was everything that Ty wanted, but couldn't be.
As it got into it, I was like, okay, fuck everything I just said. This is
well, like I think it's been throughout the throughout this whole season. It's kind of been like about that, like versus
yourself,
like what you want. Stuff versus yourself, and like it was also the things causing them the despair that Andre wanted them to feel.
Yes.
So it was like Tandy having to deal with her father, and Ty having to like he ain't even in school anymore, and he's not the perfect that he tried to be.
Yeah, because all of season 1, I think exactly. If you go all the way back to season 1, you see Ty trying to fight this. Like, I have to be this version of myself. Like he's
trying to be perfect so that he doesn't end up like Billy.
Exactly, that's what is always.
And his mom was just like, it doesn't even matter.
It doesn't. But man, was perfect Ty a dick?
My God,
he was such a dick.
Oh.
What made it even tough was when he said to Ty, "This is all your fault. Like, what do you think you've done to her now? Look at what you've done to her." And I was like,
that shit. Or like when he was like, losing Billy didn't break the family. You did.
Yeah, I was like,
shit. He was
like, he was like, I was trying to avenge him, and he was like, and yet he's still dead. I was like,
you didn't do shit. Nothing you did.
Okay, so
it was hard.
Cool. All right, so I'm gonna leave off right there again for a second, and I'm gonna jump back to the church. Because what happens at the church at this point, because while they're fighting, is also awesome because Andre has to fight this battle on 2 fronts, in the lower dimension and in the physical realm. Because in the physical realm, he has to try to shut the candle. So we get back to Evita, really.
So that was him.
Yeah, definitely.
I feel like
just Loa being like, "Get the fuck out of our dimension, real quick."
I don't think so. It was him.
It was him because he had to make sure that either he traps them here. Or he had to trap them there, and in order to trap them there, he had to keep them in despair and then shut the candle off.
I didn't know that was him too.
I think that's why they made the whole speech about the candle being, I think that's why the whole speech about the candle was like important, because then it kind of shows why that battle was happening, and again, why would Fuchs? Sorry,
you're jumping ahead.
Okay,
so what I was gonna say was, I think. When they finally make it into like the shadow realm and they walk into
Papa Legba's gas station.
Not the gas station, but once they finally make it to the mall and they walk into the record store and all the things are empty, and then they're like, look at the door, like it looks like something broke out. I was wondering if the thing that broke out.
He's like, no. She's like, no, look at the window.
Something broke out. Yeah, they're busted out. Something broke out. I was wondering if the things that broke out were like Andre's dark SWAT team, like going out to take out Evita.
Yeah, and so she's praying really furiously at this point, and in walks in and then Bridget. So what do we call her now? We're just calling her Bridge.
What else are we gonna call her?
I think we call her Bridget because that was established at the end of the episode.
Come on, no one called
Mayhem.
But they didn't. I mean, we can.
In the end.
At the end, they were like,
Bridget. What else are we just call her?
Bridget, and she was like, "No, Bridget's good."
So
they named her mama named her Bridget. I'm gonna call her Bridget.
So Bridget walks in, and Evita's like, "What are you doing here?" And she's like, well, everything is going to shit, and where else would I be?" Like, because it always seems like whatever happens.
Did Evita ask that?
Yeah, she did.
Really?
Because
she was like, "Fuck yeah, get these guys away from me."
No, it was like, what are you doing here? And the reason she said that to me is I feel like whatever happened in this season, the epicenter of everything happened to always be the church. It always happened to be like where either shit was going down or shit was getting solved or something. Again, we can go 2 episodes back, Tyrone and the church, or when Bridget came out, or when what's his name, the guy who hit Connors came out. Fix your face.
I'm sorry, I'm multitasking. Did we say that Bridget saved Bayvita from the first mofo that was trying to take her out?
See,
while she
that's
was
why
protecting
I
the
didn't
candle?
remember Evita asking like what you were doing here. I thought she was just praying
What
and being
happened
like,
was
"Yeah, sure."
she was praying over the candle, and you saw like this dark figure coming up behind her, and then boom, he's gone, and you look, and Bridget came in and just
she's like,
messed him up.
Yeah, she's like, I figured I'd just be here because I mean, when
actually,
shit happens to go down.
what she said was, "I think I'm here to help you protect the candle."
Yeah.
So something called her to there.
And so she's there, and we see 3 of them SWAT dudes dressed up in all SWAT outfits coming through, and she picks up like an axe, so she picks up a weapon, and she's going to town, like messing everybody up. And again, just as intelligent as the villain is, because okay, well, I could, and I feel like one of the reasons why he used that was because he figured she was going to be there, like she said, she was called there. And so, one of the guys takes his helmet off and it's Fuchs, and he's like, and then they like kind of make out, which is gross because he's like, oh,
well, there was a long there was some talk before it wasn't like they just saw each other and started going at it. Like, he really tried to make her feel shitty about herself, like, damn, you gonna kill me again?
Yeah, it's like everything that
you're the reason I'm dead.
Happened, yeah, it was your fault.
Like, you all but killed me yourself. And she's just like, word. But like, he said some other things to really like chip away at her humanity, not realizing. Well, most of her brain is rage right now. So she's
we're dealing with Bridget. We're not dealing with O'Reilly. Sorry, sir. You tried the wrong one. And she makes out with him, and she pulls the pin, and she's like, I'm sorry. And she kind of pushes him off, and he's like, what do you mean?
He's like, I mean, you can't kill me again or something like that. Like, you can't fix the past. And she's like, that's not what I'm talking about.
No, right. Yeah, sorry. Wrong version.
I loved that part. Like, fuck you, Fuchs. Okay, wait, but that's why I thought it wasn't Andre. I thought it was like Papa Legba, because he's the one who is appearing as other people.
I don't think it was him though, simply because his whole way station, like his Crossroads way station, was just
fucked up.
Destroyed. And I think he would have sent. I think he also would have sent Bridget there because he needs someone. Again, I mean, the fact that they're in there, I would think, right, that the other Loa, Andre would have tried to subdue them, like get them out the way. Samdi, Legba, whatever
all the other ones.
Yeah, because we have, like, he would, as the villain, he would try to like subdue them.
And he wants to be dominant over everything.
See, while I was watching, I thought the gods were just like, well, this guy sucks. Hope someone takes him out. But like, they just didn't give a shit.
I would think about like Hercules, how what's his name tried to take over Olympus, and
Hades.
Hades tried to take over Olympus, and he had to like get the gods out the way first, release the Titans. So I'm thinking the Titans would be the goon squad,
the dark SWAT.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah. Also, I don't know if anybody else watches Supernatural, but is like the international sign or housing for Crossroads a gas station? Because you think about like every time they had to meet the Crossroads demon, it was always in the same place, but there was a gas station right there. And here, Papa Legba is like the Loa of like the Crossroads to death and life and stuff, and he had a whole little gas station.
You know what I think though? Like, so if you've taken a road trip, there's always the big gas station or like the rest station that has a gas station and has like all the food. I'm thinking that's what it is, because between that,
I mean, I guess that would be a Crossroads.
Yeah,
gas stations are like the symbol.
The symbol of like, oh well, you can come here, get gas, stretch your legs. Well, this is the end of the line for you.
Yeah.
You come here, get some hot dogs before you go. But yeah, so now we leave there because I think most of the action at that point is already done. There's nothing once she defeats Fuchs, so she never really defeats him, but once
they just keep fighting, and she keeps defending it.
Yeah.
And then like towards the end something happens, but not yet.
Yeah, so we jump right back into the lower dimension, and like we said, man, it was really tough watching Tandy and Dad. Like I think it was tougher for me watching Tandy and Dad than it was for me watching Ty and Ty, because I just feel like a dad's job is supposed to be protecting his daughter, and it just seemed very, very dark what he was saying to her. And it's like, or what he was just doing to her, and he's like, you can't. And then she finally starts to gain the courage of like, you can't control me, or it won't.
Not yet, bitch.
Oh, my bad. You want to do it?
You keep skipping things. No, well, okay, first of all, they are getting their ass kicked because like they're just like, what the fuck? And so Tandy's having to deal with her dad, and she even tries to cut him, and that shit doesn't work because she doesn't believe what she's trying to do.
Yes. Yeah,
and he's like,
you can't hurt me with that.
Yeah, you don't know what I did for this family. You just let me explain. It's like, okay, explain. Like, oh, well, I'm just a piece of shit, but I'm still your dad, and I am a part of you. I had to do all this shit for you, and blah blah blah. And then Tyrone and his bitch ass self is just like, why the fuck are you here? It's like, I'm the better you. Like, you couldn't be me, and you're the joke, which I thought was such a lame insult.
But you know what though? Like episode 1 Ty, like those first few episodes before like shit got real and dark for him, he was kind of a cornball.
He was. Like it was perfect for Ty, but I just thought like, you're evil and this is your insult.
That's like, the best burn you have. Yeah.
Like, I'm looking at a joke. And I was like, what? Really? That's your... But anyways, he's like, yeah.
Burn to Ty, though. It's
a super burn. He seemed way more confident than real Ty and everything. But yeah, he was just like, you fucked up the family. You're supposed to be perfect, and look at you. You're nothing. You should have been me. You were just pathetic. You broke the family. Billy's still dead. You ain't accomplished shit. And he kicks Tyrone's ass.
He had so hell of a right hook. Like when he punched Ty, I was like,
and the best part of it is Ty goes to punch him. He's like, I knew you were gonna do that.
I knew you were gonna do that. I knew you were gonna do that too.
Just gets his ass.
Be unpredictable, Ty.
And like I think the only hit he lands is when he's on the floor and he kicks him. Like
for the leg, yeah.
And then like
sweep the leg.
Tandy is dealing with her dad and like all the shit he's saying about like how it's all her fault that she was a victim and shit. And then she yells for Tyrone because she can hear him.
Yeah, she's like, "Can you hear me, Tyrone?"
And she just yells his name, and he's like, "Tandy, where are you? I can hear you." And they start running.
The best part is, so while we're watching them fight themselves or fight their dark fears,
watching them get their ass kicked.
And then you come back to the jazz club and you see them sitting down, all despaired out, and
with all the other people.
Looks like. And sometimes it looks like they're gonna wake up, but then it's just they fall
lull
right
back into it.
And it's just, I feel like it's great to see that, or to see, okay, so because this obviously these are our heroes and we can see what they're going through. Is this what everybody else is going through? Like, is this what?
But they have an advantage.
Yeah,
they have each other.
But they know what's happening in there.
Yeah, like what would
would
Tandy's mom be going through?
Yeah, Tandy's mom, Michaela. Like, I don't even is she like with the dad too? Is she with some or the dead guy from last season?
She might be with Tandy if you think about it, because the thing that probably hurt her the most is finally getting her life back on track, and then Tandy being like, all you had to do was leave.
Right.
And so
that was the last thing they said to each other.
And over and over again, and not being able to do anything about it because she doesn't have Tandy's advantage.
Mm-hmm.
And they're just stuck in that despair shit, and like Tyrone and Tandy are pretty fucking close with it. Like, that's their despair fucking shit. And so that shit's depressing. And if they didn't hear each other, like they were pretty down.
Yeah.
They were done. And so they keep running towards each other. I think they finally get to each other at the police station.
It's just like a dark space. Like they run through doors.
Tyrone goes through into the police station. That's when Perfect Ty takes his jacket off and he's like, I'm a cop, bitch. I'm way better than you.
Oh,
and then Tandy, I think where does Tandy go? the weed house.
Yes.
They go into the weed house, and that's when like they're still fighting,
and then they're
he's
still
still
fighting
talking
and yelling
shit.
for each other's names, and then boom, they kind of get to each other.
I can hear you.
And Tandy's like, oh, was it Tyrone or Tandy was like, you know how we have that special thing?
Oh, well, that's after they get out of the room, and Andre is like, "You dumbass bitches think it's gonna be that easy."
No, they hadn't done that yet. They hadn't done it. That's
after they get out of the room. They see Andre and they try to fight him.
Well, they're in
he's
the
like,
dark
"This is my
space.
shit." Yeah, in the dark space, he's like, "This is my shit right now. You're in my world."
Yeah,
because
like, and
Tandy
y'all have
pressed
to
the
fight your
dagger.
troubles.
And it's like, nope, that ain't gonna work. And then I don't know why Andre just lets them switch, like, at all.
Oh, was he there when he switched?
Yeah.
Yeah, he was like standing in the back because he was like, this
Why
isn't
would you
done.
let them switch? That's so
That's
dumb.
what I was thinking. I was like, Andre, you a dumbass. You that confident, but okay. But yeah, and then that's when they like look at each other's like self, and they're like,
and one is like, do you know how you can you know how we do that special thing where we can see better on the outside? And she's like, yeah. And then boom, they switch, and then they start kicking each other. You know,
okay, but
they get the upper hand. Oh, Tandy's beating the fuck out of Tyrone. I feel like it's something she's always wanted to do.
Wait, you can't just say it like that, because this part was so great for me. Especially, so first of all, it starts off with Tyrone saying, if anyone can kick my ass, it's you. Which,
she knows.
Of course. But anyways, when Tyrone faces Tandy's dad, and Tandy's dad is like, oh, what the fuck is this? No, I need, I need to fight. I need to go see Tandy, not you. And he's like, what? You don't hit men? And it makes me laugh every time. And I love it so much. And then Tyrone and Tandy fighting. And like, it is just so good because throughout the whole thing, it's like, no, like, you have nothing on Tyrone.
You
are nothing. You're not even half the mana he is. The world has just shit on him over and over, and he just gets back up. You are nothing. You are not perfect. And like, it was just so nice.
Coward.
Yeah, you're a coward. Tyrone.
It's kind of nice to see them step up for each other, because that's exactly the metaphor of it. It's like they're actually standing up for the other person.
Yeah,
and it was kind of dope.
If my friends can't hype me up like that, when people are like, if someone is talking about me behind my back, or just in general, if I'm feeling down, we don't need to be friends anymore.
No,
I feel like I need to send out that scene and like, like a distribution list and be like, look, this is how we need to be uplifting each other all the time.
No,
because
seriously,
that was
it was.
And Tyrone.
But you know what though?
What?
This whole season has led up to that. It's like, with every fight they've had in real life or whatever, from the first couple of episodes, when they actually find each other, like you said, was it episode 1 or 2 where she says to him, "You're Tyrone, baller."
It's the first episode, because he's being all down in the dumps about not having his family and friends.
Everything that has happened, this is like the culmination of their friendship or their relationship. It's like,
or just
no, like, you are my and when we get
but
to
also
I'm sorry, go ahead.
The villains are themselves, technically. Like, this isn't like something Andre like picked up and was just like, oh, let me just talk shit. It's not like
Andre's
when they encourage each other.
Villain,
it's their own feelings that they're fighting, and that's why it was so hard for them. And that's why, like, every time they comforted each other, like, oh, kick-ass ballerina, like, that is what Tandy's thinking about herself. And so, like, they're fighting what each other thinks about themselves. And it was just, like, so good. It was like the physical, like, representation of them just like
of your anxiety.
Yeah. And it was just so good.
And then what makes it dope, right? What makes that whole thing dope is that they start winning. Like, they start winning because they're encouraging themselves, technically, or they're hyping themselves up.
Can you see his face?
He's like, yo, don't put me on camera.
Yeah, he already gave me side eye earlier. Bree left the room, and I was like, "Hi, Pluto," and he was just like, like, who is this?
Like,
yeah, you don't know me to be calling my name.
And then they start winning, and Andre's like, and then they start winning, and then when you come back to the jazz club, you can see them almost come out of the despair, and then Andre's like, oh nah, this can't happen.
This shit down.
And he really does. He sends them separate. He separates them again.
Like, no, you have to fight. You have to fight your own fears,
your own demon, your own self. And he puts Ty in the room of cloaks that we saw Connor's in. Yeah. Mm-hmm. And then he puts Tandy in the worst possible place
in the hotel room.
And it's like, one, it's two things. It's the worst possible place ever. And it's also like,
real
she
traumatic
also
for
has
her.
to deal with, she probably never really dealt with that. She still never really dealt with that, because we don't know if she ever did. And then she has to deal with that. On top of that, deal with her
She didn't have
dad.
time to deal with that shit.
And then on top of that, deal with her dad issues. And it's
So
there was something he said to her that I kind of want to ask.
Oh.
And he said to her, I believe, nobody will ever. What would they say about you if they knew? Knew what?
well,
Was he
what he
talking about?
said, who, the dad?
Yeah.
Okay, so first off, can I say I got a knot in my stomach when the dad walked through the door, and I was like, please
I thought it was.
don't
I'm
make the
like, yo,
dad one of the
yes.
Johns,
Oh my
because
god. Oh my
I
That's
god.
all I
that
could
was
think
gonna be
about
too much.
I had
when
the
they
same
did that.
exact feeling.
And
I
like
had the same exact feeling.
I had the
And
same too, but like also when there was a John, they never showed his face, and all I could
Oh
think of was,
god.
please don't, please,
yeah,
like in my head, like please don't let that have been the same actor.
right.
That would have been creepy.
So what he says to her is like, you fucked up so much. Look at where you got yourself. You got
Right.
yourself in this situation, and it was your fault. And you are so ashamed. You don't want me to know about this, and you don't want Ty to know about this and what you've been through. And so that's when she kind of sits there for a second, and she's like, "Nah, I'm good."
Yeah, I've kind of forgiven myself.
Yeah, like,
And
and Ty's my friend, and he understands. So
yeah.
But also throughout the entire season, like she started the season like real victim blaming, and just like
Became
it's
a
all your fault
victim.
for doing this shit, and so that's basically what her dad was doing to her, and she was just like, no, it's not. I'm not alone.
mhm.
I have
I think
Ty. I
she
get
had
it.
to forgive herself. She had to understand that she had people. She had a friend.
Yeah.
She had
I'm
someone.
like, shit happens. You need help. And it was just so nice. And it was very like, I guess like technically he never abused her when he was alive because she didn't know technically, but like it was still very abusive shit
Very.
that he was saying, like, just like, this is all your fault. You are nothing, and I'm always going to be a part of you. And just shit like that. And she was like, nah, bitch. Nah.
Yeah.
You
Yeah.
you have affected me, but I get to choose. I get to decide how much, and you will always be a part of me, but I get to decide how big a part. And that
Can you
shit
say it?
gave
Can you
me
say it
so
now?
much. Yes.
Okay, can we talk about what happens when she says that?
Yeah, when she's like, on a ranking scale of A to B about how much I care, guess where you fall?
You guys are missing it.
No,
When she
I
says
know.
to him,
I thought you
when
were
she
gonna say
says,
it.
okay, let me say, when she says to him, not anymore, I get to choose how much, you see the
Ah,
daggers become a sword, like
it
nice
comes a
little,
whole
she's
ass
like,
light
oh
sword.
nah, bruh.
It was so cool.
It's and it's so dope because this thing, right, it gets even better at the end when they come out of the despair, but she turns the dagger into a sword and she goes from the A to B, I get to choose. And he's like, what I get to choose where you rank. And he's like, where? And when it happened, I spazzed because I haven't seen that since I was a child. She literally drew a Z on him. And I'm like, Zorro!
She gave him the Zoro thing, but also
my
she
gosh.
was like, "You are
It
a
was,
Z on my A to B listing of giving a fuck."
I spazzed because
And it was
that
so great because
Z.
they watched Zora in the beginning of the season. And I was waiting for her to do some shit like that. So it was just.
And it was like, shoo, shoo, shoo. I was like, yes. She puts him in the wall. We jump. And so Ty's still dealing with himself. And he's starting to figure it out too that, yo,
And he's
like, I'm not perfect. I could never be perfect. Like, it's just what happens. It's like, this is just what happens in general. Like, it's just life happens and life has happened to me, but I somehow,
and
I'm better.
you can lean into the world when it makes you angry or it hurts you, but like use that
Exactly.
anger to like change the world.
You just nothing. He's just decking himself and he starts to win against himself. And it's so dope because they are coming into their own. It's kind of crazy because this whole season we've kind of seen them, oh, they're kind of coming together, and it's like, oh, they fail. And it's like, oh, they're kind of coming together, oh, they fail. But it's like now you can actually see them forget coming together. They're dealing with their issues separately to make them stronger as a unit, and it does work. They come out of despair, and as soon as they come out, Tandy forms her little Rasengan, and she tosses the light. She tosses the light bulb, and of course, Andre is like all like, oh, ha ha ha, you can't hurt me.
Well, that
that
threw
shit
him off
hurt.
a little bit.
He was like, that light
That one
can't
threw
be
him
good
off.
for the migraines.
Yeah, he dropped his trumpet.
No, then he drop it when she threw the dagger at the trumpet. He was trying to blow it, and she threw it at him. And Cloak, he
dropped it at some point, but that light hurt his
the light hurt him
migraines, and that was
it kind of
great.
distracted him. And then Cloak goes over there, he chokes him out. Right, that's when he choked him out.
Mm-hmm.
That is when he choked him out. And then, Tandy throws the dagger. He drops the trumpet, and I think he's like, "Oh, you're looking for something," or something happens, and he doesn't.
Yeah,
realize
Ty picks up the trumpet. He's like, "You looking for this?"
You looking for this?
And so Andre is like, "Whatever, I'm a god." So he starts doing like the Magneto hands, like
right. And then in the dopest thing that has happened all season, which is a very comic book. Sorry, is there something I missed? Because I have to talk about this.
Just real quick, just so you don't think. Tandy throws daggers, but misses Andre, and he's like, "Hi, you missed, bitch." But they didn't miss.
He was like throwing hope into people.
Yeah, she's throwing it through him.
Nina,
and
her mom, and Michaela, and she was like, "Someone wise told me that the daggers are made of hope."
Yes,
which is the opposite.
Oh, and then she light balls, because that's when he looks for the trumpet, and Ty's like, "Oh, you're looking for this?" And then she light balls and then through him and kind of wakes everybody up.
And she kind of disappears.
And you just see Ty standing there for like a quick second, and he goes,
"Oh no, wait!" Because then Andrea's like, "See, your girl left you again."
Yeah, where you at?
Yeah,
because she left during the game too.
Mm-hmm.
Yes,
like so she abandoned you again, and then when I tell you I was in there punching and kicking the air and just
where'd she go? And she jumps out with a sword, not a dagger this time.
A sword.
And she stabs him.
Okay, but you're doing like this, like people. So Ty does his smoky thing, like he opens the cloak and he's doing his smoky thing, and then Tandy like jumps out of his his smoky thing, and with her sword and just rams it right through his chest.
But for some reason, she didn't get enough of what she needed, and he's like trying to fight it, and she's stabbing him even. And then the mom and Nina hold him back, and she drives it in. She drives it in fully, and he's done.
Yeah, and then they laying there like, and then they're like, you know what? Let's take a look at your despair.
Oh man, this is kind of dope. And then they go into it, and he's like all sad in his record store. Hurt. I think it was called First Migraine.
Andre's First Migraine.
It was the record she picks up, and she's playing it.
Also, what's interesting is, when they go into this little space to like look at his records, it's not necessarily the record store. It's like it almost looks like the back office of a record store, or at least when I worked at a music store, is what the back office in the music store I worked at looked like. So it was almost like he kept his sorrows, like all of his anxiety and stuff, in like his own personal little office in the back.
Yeah. And then he's sitting there all crying and stuff. I'm like, I don't feel bad for you.
Nobody feels bad. And then in the most gangster move, like she plays the record and she scratches it. So like that one blue note just keeps repeating over and over again.
He's like bawling at this point.
So fucking
snot and everything. And it's like, and they walk out. And then they walk out. And then in the real world, okay, so we come back to the real world, everything's kind of quieted down.
Well, wait.
Not yet.
Mayhem and them are still fighting, but then Evita comes out with that nail gun and just nails them all.
Yeah, because Mayhem is like on the ground, and it looks like she's
getting triple teamed, maybe quadruple. Pause. There are several. There is no way that I can say this without it sounding like something off of X videos.
There's a logo right there.
Yeah, right. There's like a certain popular genre that's been happening lately with 4 black figures and 1 white figure, and that's kind of what was happening there.
And she's there, and Evita comes in and saves her with the nail gun. It was kind of cute.
That was badass. That was not cute.
Okay,
don't you do that? Don't.
And then everything kind of quiets down. The kind of ominous breeze or wind that was kind of blowing the candle away while she was holding it, kind of just died down. And then she gets up, and then they walk out, and she picks up the candle.
What are you talking about?
Nothing else happened after that. Did she say thank you?
Did you even say that they got out yet?
Yeah, basically, Mayhem was like, "What? Where is everybody? What just happened?" And then that's when
they walk out. So I got this.
Cloak and Dagger.
Ty and Tandy. The smoke door appears. Ty and Tandy walk out. Yeah.
Okay.
Picks the candle up and goes.
No, she doesn't just do it that quickly. Her and Ty are looking at each other, and Ty like walks over to her, I guess, to say something or to hold her hand or something.
He never walked up to
her. He does. He tries to talk to her, and she's like, "No, I'm done."
There was
basically
room between the two of them.
Which one of us has seen this 3 times?
You.
Okay, then. So he doesn't walk all the way over to her, but he starts walking towards her to do something, and she looks at him with that candle and is like
she's done.
You're just an old flame now, sir. And then she does an about face and walks away. Yeah.
But what I thought was funny about that, right? So while that was about to happen, Tandy goes up to O'Reilly and she's like, "I need a favor." But before she asks O'Reilly for the favor, she kind of looks over like, "Oh, maybe we need to give them space." So they kind of walk farther away because it's like, oh, some awkwardness is happening, and they kind of walk farther away. And then she's like, "I need a favor." And I'm like, what kind of favor would she need?
She said, "I need a cop favor. I need a favor from a cop."
And in my mind, again, so when everything that's kind of happened, Evita does the about face and walks away. They never show us what they talk about for the favor, and that they fade out of that. And then we get back to Tandy's house. Her mom is packing. Tandy is packing. Gives mom a hug. It's kind of sad because I would feel like you want to stay a little bit, kind of like talk it out.
Well, I'm sure some time has passed. Not like we need to see every single second.
I mean, she changed clothes, so
Keem's not gonna let this one go.
I noticed that too, though. She pretty much stayed in the same clothes for every 3 episodes. It took her 3 episodes to change every time.
Yeah.
Except for the time Leah changed her.
But yeah, so she gives mom a hug and she walks out, and then we get to Ty's house. For some reason, we're watching the news and it's like we see.
For some reason, the senator who framed Tyrone is getting in jail.
No, what I was gonna say, for some reason, Ty's not in the house.
I thought that was weird too. That
the window.
Yeah, it doesn't even seem like he walked back in to even let his parents know he was okay or anything. He's just looking outside the window. His mom and dad are his dad comes and sits down beside his mom.
So I think
they're holding hands.
Right.
Yeah.
But we're watching on the news that the senator has been found, he framed Tyrone. So I'm guessing Tyrone is no longer a fugitive.
Probably not. Father Delgado is out of that sober house.
His life up.
Yep. Well, I mean, that's how they get.
Was it the church?
No, he was leaving the place he was staying, and he was
in the sober living house.
So he was leaving the sober.
And he was all dressed up, ready to be a priest again. And
we'll fade out.
That's probably how the senator got.
But we fade out, and we see Andre's first migraine. Did you spot that?
This is when we lose Mo.
What?
Wait, am I here? I am here.
Okay.
Right?
Yeah, maybe it was me.
Yeah. So we fade out and we see Andre's first
record.
Migraine. Yeah.
But that was weird for me because it was the father that was throwing away the record.
Yeah. I didn't know
cleaning up the little safe house basement and he threw that record out.
Maybe Andre was in that house at some point. At some point, he was probably, a resident there. After,
I didn't know if that was super connected to the father at all. If he just found it, but either way, it was in the trash, and that's all I cared about.
Well, they are trash. So Andre's getting trashed, and what else? What else happened? Oh yes. So I'm guessing the favor was to dig up Connors and put him in the
shooting range.
In the shooting range, which
but how did she know where?
Maybe that's.
Because did the mom even be like, "Yo, Tandy, I killed Connors"?
Because the mom doesn't even really know Tandy like that. That was weird.
The mom doesn't like her because she already said she came to my house and my badge was missing. The first time she came to my house, your little girlfriend stole my
Your
badge.
little girlfriend steals.
But I'm
What was
thinking she learned about it in the lower dimension when she was talking to.
Well, I'm assuming Ty knew and they talked.
Yeah, because Ty did tell Ty, right? Ty told Ty his mom killed Connors. Well, perfect Ty told Ty his mom.
Ty found out because he saw the bloody newspapers. When he spied on his mom, and she was like, "Yeah, Connors is fine." Burning bloody newspapers like it's nothing.
Oh, yeah, right. That. So dead Connors, which I feel like, are they gonna investigate or are they just gonna let it go?
No, but is she guilty?
I don't think they're gonna investigate. The black cop in the back was like, yeah.
But I mean, he is a cop, so aren't you gonna investigate the death of a cop, or are you just gonna be like, oh, he's a cop?
Because he was the one who brought all that. Yeah, he brought all of that on their station.
So if he was dirty,
all the files said that he did it.
Right. I guess. And so that's another thing that happens, and then we don't get a shot of Mina at this, right? Yeah, we do. We do get a shot of Mina talking to one of her mouses.
And are you just imagining things? I don't remember that.
No, she did. She was holding it in her hand, and she was like,
15. It was
she
number
was
2.
petting it. I don't know which number it was, but yeah.
Okay, if any of you watch it again, let it be. I'm calling it.
Okay.
Because I know you're gonna watch it.
15.
I'm saying this mouse number 15.
I wonder how she's gonna combine these mices. Okay.
I'm wondering if the mouses were already combined, and that's why she was so happy because she figured out how to merge them back together.
Yes, probably. So it's all like, so she's all happy, and her life's work. Maybe her life's work is coming together, because I mean, she did say, this is what I'm dedicating my life to at this point, and so that she got her happy ending. Bridget, which all we saw Bridget was dig up Connors and tie him up. I wonder what her life is gonna be like. But then
she's still working with Cloak and Dagger.
Right. But is she? Because we get to the bus. We get to the bus.
Wait, you missed one thing.
Evita.
Oh yeah, Evita is giving it another tour, or she's either painting.
No, she's with like her Mambo people or whatever.
I think that's
Andre's grave.
Andre's grave, and she's painting his lower symbol on it
with Cloak and Dagger on it.
Yes.
Mm-hmm. And then you see a flyer,
stalker boyfriend.
Oh yeah, he's got to stop doing that shit. That's really creepy. Like you can't be off in the distance, like just staring at people and then disappearing.
And
it was his goodbye. Okay, he even got a new hoodie.
But I feel, he does have a new hoodie. I feel like she can sense him because she looks over.
Because she looks up every time.
But he's gone. And then we see a flyer from a missing girl, and someone like picks it up with a trash poker.
That's Leah.
Yeah, well,
she's in jail.
And they fade up, and it's Leah who's in jail now in a little orange jumpsuit. Yes,
good.
Yes, good. And then we get to the bus stop, or the actual bus, and Tandy's sitting on there, just looking all like
alone,
stoic,
and she kind of like sighs, and someone says to her, "I called ILC." In his voice,
I called ILC.
That's
exactly like that.
Yeah,
okay. The Kermit sounding voice.
He does sound like Kermit. Come on now.
I said that first season.
Oh, yeah,
I said that first season. So, his voice has grown on me though. But yeah, first season I was like, if y'all don't get this corny muff out of here.
And she looks up, and it's Ty, and I was like, oh, okay, Cloak and Cloak and Dagger, together. Where are they going? So, and then they sit, he sits down, and I'm like, he's probably gonna Cloak off the bus. I didn't think he was gonna go all the way with her. But
why not?
I don't know. I thought they were gonna separate it and kind
they
of find
just exchanged vows. Did you not hear me when I said they exchanged vows last episode that they're in this together?
They just talked about what Bridget told them, and they're going together to help.
But I thought it was gonna be like one of these, like, okay, like a vacation type thing. I need a break.
Really, I want to know why he walked on the bus, because that means he bought a ticket, and he could have just cloaked on for free.
Seriously.
But he didn't want her to ride by her. Well, it would be weird though if like it was a sold out bus and somebody was like, "You're in my seat."
I guess so. But
I mean,
but yeah, they talked about dead girls.
I do wonder how far they're traveling.
Oh, sorry. I did miss something. We missed something. A drug deal was going down.
Oh yeah.
a drug deal was going
It
down.
was with
Someone
that one
pulls
kid,
up.
Solomon or whatever.
Yeah, someone pulls up and he's like, "What you need?" He's like,
Give me some.
"Nah, we don't do that no more. We don't do that here no more."
Because he looks in the back seat and there's like 3 girls in the back. Okay, so that was cool,
but it wasn't cool.
We're just not going to rescue the girls because they just pulled the fuck off with these unconscious girls in the back. And Ty's like looking at him through the window, smiling like, yeah, that's what's up. Like, sir.
Like, those girls real quick though, because like it doesn't take you much. Just pop them out.
And so we get back to the bus and they're talking about what, Bridget's like, well, they're dead. They're missing. Was it missing or dead?
Dead.
There was some dead girls popping up on the beach, and that's what I thought the favor was, or something, like maybe something to get her out of town. Because I didn't know why she would be like, hey, do me a favor and get Connors or something. I didn't know why like that would be it.
But it could have been maybe Ty told her, and she's like, she wants to help her buddy out or her best friend or her. Interestingly, Ty puts his hand down and she puts her hand over, and it's like, oh, sweetheart. But it's kind of cool though. That was their ending.
Waffles or pancakes.
I know. Oh yeah, waffles or pancakes.
Waffles or pancakes. Like in the beginning.
Because Tandy is having doubts. She's like, do you think our divine pairing is going to?
Yes.
You think we'll still be divine and paired elsewhere?
Outside of the city limits. And he's like,
I've never been anywhere.
Wait, time out.
Do you not remember that entire conversation?
Yeah, I do. But I was like, didn't she ask about waffles or pancakes in like episode 1?
Yeah, when they went to the club. And she was like, when you out with your girl, waffles or pancakes?
Waffles. See? And that's why I think they're about to like...
Nah.
I know they are eventually, but I was really digging the platonic friendship. So pure.
I
and now that Evita's out of the picture and Evita's done with him, I'm good.
But I kind of hope they don't. But what are the chances of when the next season starts, they get off the bus, right, and she gets robbed, and they chase the person that robbed her?
I was thinking about that. If they go to New York and then she gets robbed, and then but like that'd be.
It would be kind of on the nose.
It'd be seriously, if they go to New York. I think when I heard dead girl popping up on a beach, I thought Runaways.
Ooh. No, I hope it's New York.
I hope not. I'm so tired of Marvel in New York, and then there's still crime.
Yeah, but New York doesn't necessarily need anybody solving those crimes because they have their own set of heroes already.
Yeah, but apparently not, because there's still crime in New York, and every single fucking hero in Marvel is here. It bugs the shit out of me. You got the Avengers, you got the Fantastic Four, you got the Defenders, you got... I don't know where Spider-Man lies in those. I guess
Spider-Man is in Brooklyn, as a matter of fact. Yeah, Spider-Man.
It's all New York.
It's only Captain America's from New York.
If I was a criminal, I would literally just leave New York and have a state to myself, because apparently superheroes don't leave that fucking state. It's so annoying.
Who's guarding Long Island? Because that would be where the women washed up on the beach. So maybe that's where Cloak and Dagger have their dominion.
Still is
I guess, but I really liked that they weren't in New York. So if they go to a new place.
No, but it wouldn't be funny though. Like they get off the bus and she gets robbed. That's all I could think about when I saw the bus. I was like,
I thought that too.
So yeah, that's it. That is Level Up, and that's season 2 of Cloak and Dagger. And I think
and it ended with Take on Me being played again.
Yes, but I really like this season, and I like this because you know what's funny though, with Cloak and Dagger, there's no villain in both episodes. There's no like major like big bad. It's always it's a thing where they have to deal with.
I feel like it's very psychological stuff.
Yes.
Like they didn't really fight Andre. I mean, they did, but not the big fight was with themselves. Fighting their own despair that Andre put on them. Not put on them.
And then if you go back to season 1, it was like, it wasn't the main villain was the gas, but it wasn't about the gas. It was about what they had to do together to become Cloak and Dagger. Like they had to save the city together. They had to find out about the divine pairing, and they had to be selfless, because that's when you find out that one of the for peace or whatever, one of them had to die, and they had to sacrifice. They had to be selfless. Yeah, so it's like.
But then they did it together.
Exactly. So it's kind of dope. It's kind of dope what Cloak and Dagger is about. I'm hoping. I haven't heard anything about a season 3, but I'm hoping we get one. Because it would be a shame if this show doesn't get a 3rd season.
That would be a shame.
And Runaways. Not saying Runaways is trash, but like Runaways gets a third, and this doesn't get a third.
Runaways is just not as good. It's
We
just
didn't
not.
even finish the Runaways review, so
I know. It's kind of.
I think it's okay to say that it's not up to par.
It doesn't. Yeah, it's not up to par.
It's not Cloak and Dagger status.
No, not at all.
I don't
and
feel.
it's
I feel like it's just
crazy because Cloak and Dagger did weekly episodes, and Runaways, for it to have to make the impact it did for season 2, they had to drop everything at once.
I thought that was weird since the first season they did do it weekly, and I thought
Yeah, they were like, nah,
and they
nobody's
probably
gonna
didn't get
watch.
hangers on the way they expected to.
And so they just said you were just gonna drop it all at once, because I don't believe Hulu does single drops like they did for Runaways. They do weekly. Almost every show on Hulu gets a weekly release.
Ooh,
It's kind of weird. Yeah,
I didn't know that. I mean, that's kind of
Yeah.
cool. So it's kind of like TV.
yeah, but I
Well,
mean, ultimately, I enjoyed the season of Cloak and Dagger. I really, really enjoyed it. And you know what I enjoyed most about it was coming here every week doing the show with you guys. Like, this was the best part of it, honestly. Like, I love it. I hope we get a third so we can come back again and do this again. And if a third is announced, I would like for us to, before it comes on, to come on and do a recap of season 1 and 2. Not necessarily a big show like this, just a quick, run back, because it's kind of nice to jump into it like we did. We kind of just jumped into Cloak and Dagger this season, but I feel like a recap would kind of help us like flow better. I feel like just like the show, we kind of picked up, as we got on. But and again, Jess King, thank you so much.
Look it up.
Is it fan?
Our one
Thank you to our fan.
I know, our big fan. Just like Teen Titans.
Jess
that one
in
episode.
King.
Yes. Jess who King?
Jess in King. I don't know if that like means something. Maybe she lives in a place called King. Oh, keeps me very. Yeah. Okay, yeah, that's what it is. Jess in King. Hi.
So Jess said, hi, and thank you for commenting almost every episode that you did. Just wanted to give you a shout out, and also whoever watches, and I know there's someone else that has commented once, said thank you for doing this because nobody talks about it. So I want to also thank you for watching. You are one of the watchers. Whether you comment or not, this has been one of the more consistent shows on Earth too. When I say consistent, like the numbers are consistent. We try to make sure we do an episode a week. If not, we jump, and so thank you guys for being patient with us. Thank you guys for watching with us. Thank you again, Keem and Bree, for doing this every week. And despite the huge technical issues, we still try to get a show on and with me. And again, just want to thank you so much for this. Thank you to the producers for Cloak and Dagger for making such a dope show for us to talk about. Not going to Comic-Con this year, so I wouldn't know or be able to talk to them if they were in New York or San Diego. Unfortunately, I'm not doing that this year, but hopefully if Lou is doing it, I might ask him to see if he can get in with them and we could get like an interview or something and get some questions out to them. Anyways, do you ladies have something you want to say on the exit?
For season 3.
Hope for season 3
right now.
I know the writer. What? Take on me. Are you gonna edit it in?
I'm gonna edit it in to get us out for the intro. But so that's it. Hopefully we get a season 3, and we are out. Thank you very much.